What day is it? Oh yeah, it's Friday. It is Friday, August 28th, 2020. I am Marco Alvarado, your host, and this is closing out the week with the Closers Podcast. How are you? How was your week? Was it good, all things considered? Did you miss the NBA? Have you been fixated on the events of this week? Have you felt like things are getting a little heavy? Because it's okay to say any of those things. It's all right. You can miss the NBA and the distraction that it brings while also acknowledging everything else. That's okay. That's kind of where I'm at. The NBA has helped me get through the weeks, get through the days. It's given me something to look forward to every day. I've appreciated what the NBA has done for me during this stretch of the pandemic. But there are more important things going on right now. And you all probably know what I'm referring to, and that is the shooting of a 29-year-old man by the name of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Jacob Blake was shot 4 times. He was shot at 7 times, but only 4 bullets entered his body at the hands of an officer named Rustin Shesky. This gentleman, Jacob Blake, was trying to break up a fight between 2 white women. The police were called, and he ended up getting shot. There's a video that I'm sure many of you have watched that shows Jacob Blake rounding the front of his car, getting into the front seat, trying to, and getting held back by police from his tank top. The police yell, "He's got a knife," and they shoot him. Now, there's a couple things about this specific video that I just want to talk about. And I've been seeing a lot of discourse on this. And there's a lot of people who are trying to discredit Jacob Blake's reputation. Now, like with George Floyd, is this the perfect person? No, he's not perfect. Does he have a record? Yes, he has a record. But if you think that that's an excuse for the police to shoot this guy, then there's something wrong with you. Because for some reason, you forget that we have a justice system. Now, it's definitely not perfect. It can definitely have an overhaul. It should, foundationally. But, nonetheless, police officers are not supposed to kill people just for having a criminal record. So if you think that that is reason enough, then there's something wrong with you. Another reason why something would be wrong with you. If you think that, for some reason, Jacob Blake is a pedophile who raped somebody under the age of 18, between the ages of 14 and 16, which is a theory, a claim that has been circulated on the internet the past couple days. There's something wrong with you, because that's not true, actually. Now, he's still alive. So is he under investigation for 3rd-degree sexual assault? Yes, he is. That charge came at him in July of 2020, last month. He hasn't been convicted. There hasn't even been a hearing yet. Nothing's happened yet on that front. Okay, so he's not even convicted of rape. Now, did he most likely commit sexual assault to his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife? I forget what title the victim held. Did he probably do that? Yes. The evidence definitely indicates that he did harm the victim, who he shares 3 children with. Yes. That is what it shows. Okay? But he's not a pedophile. And that part of his history is being dealt with within the system already. And like I said, it's not a perfect system, trust me. But it's being handled, okay? In this instance, what happened here shows no justification for why he should have been shot. And then, of course, people today are saying, oh, he had a knife. Reason to get shot, right? No, that's not reason, actually. To have a knife when there's, I don't know, a thing called a taser you could have used to restrain this guy. There was 5 of you. There's 5 cops. One guy, okay? His kids are in the back seat, and you shoot him in front of his kids. It's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, not only that this happened, but that people are trying to make excuses for the cops. Now, in response to this viral video that hit Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, people, of course, began protesting. And yes, there were riots. Yes, there were. Because when people get angry, people have to let out their frustration. And look, property is property. All right? Property can be replaced. It can. Lives can't be replaced. They can't. Walmart can replace the things that were stolen. You know? I know there was like a Wendy's a month ago or a couple months ago that was burned down for when another black man was shot unjustly. Property can be replaced, but people can't, okay? And also, rioting occurred when everything happened with George Floyd. When that situation popped off, rioting did occur, but it only lasted the first 2 nights, 3 nights maybe, depending on your city. After that, everything was generally peaceful, and all the violence you saw, for the most part, was caused and instigated by the police. And then there's hundreds of videos that you can watch on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram that back up my claim. And why am I going into defending people who are rioting? Well, because there was a teenager, a 17-year-old teenager, a couple nights ago by the name of Kyle Rittenhouse, who just today was charged for murder in shooting deaths of protesters in Kenosha. Now, this kid is from Illinois, okay? He's from Illinois, and he committed a crime. He killed 2 people, 2 protesters in Wisconsin. So right off the bat, you have federal authorities having to be involved in this because it's interstate. It's between 2 states. This person who is a resident of Illinois committed a crime in Wisconsin. At that point, they have to get involved, right? Okay. So what did this guy do? Well, there's a lot of conflicting reports about what's going on with him and what actually went down. But definitively, what we know is he killed 2 people with an AR, and the police in a video that I witnessed after this guy killed the 2 people, the police let him walk up to this police barricade with the gun in hand, just totally nonchalant. Now they're telling him, stay back, clear the road, don't be in the road. The kid doesn't listen. He just keeps walking forward with a gun at the police. Now he's not holding it up, pointing it at him. He has it down. He has it relaxed. But he still has a fucking gun. Walking up to the police. Did they shoot him? Did they arrest him on site? No. There were people who kept going up to the police saying, he's shot 2 people. He's shot 2 people. He's shot 2 people. Nothing happened. Now, as of Thursday, which is yesterday, he's been arrested and he's been convicted. Or not convicted. He's not convicted. He's been charged, my bad, with first-degree intentional homicide, 1 count of first-degree reckless homicide, 1 count of attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and 2 counts of first-degree reckless endangerment. He also would face mandatory life sentence if convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, which is the most serious crime in Wisconsin. So this guy's fucked. He's fucked. He's fucked. It's a testament to our technology of today as to why he's fucked. Because if there wasn't any video and people were just claiming, 2 people died because of this guy. It would just be he said, she said. And at that point, the justice system would favor him because that's just how our country is. But that kid's fucked. Now that we got those 2 parts of this story out of the way, something very unprecedented happened on Wednesday. The Orlando Magic and the Milwaukee Bucks of the NBA were going to play Game 5 of their Eastern Conference Series. Before the game started, the Milwaukee Bucks decided to boycott, well, quote-unquote boycott. Actually, it's actually a strike, okay? To strike the game. They sat out. They didn't play. The Orlando Magic followed suit, and before you know it, all the rest of the games on Wednesday were postponed. That caused a huge, huge outpouring of support and anger from the other side, in response to the players' actions. There weren't any games on Thursday either, and there won't be games Friday. So there will be 3 days in the NBA bubble with no NBA games. Now, why is this so monumental? Well, no one's ever sat out of playing a game, a sporting event, in America due to political and social turmoil. That hasn't happened. Now, that happened in like 9/11, right? That happened during that time for a brief moment. I believe there were NFL games postponed, but that's not because the players themselves stood up and were like, we're not playing because of this. It was the league that stepped in and was like, all right, we're going to push these games back. This is monumental because there have been talks of strikes in the past, like with the Clippers and Donald Sterling back in 2014. I believe that was the season in which Donald Sterling was recorded saying some very racist stuff about Magic Johnson and just black people in general. And then back in the 60s, Bill Russell and the players in that era thought about striking to send a message to the greater society as a whole in terms of civil rights, but they decided not to. They decided to play. This is the first time this has happened, and this is becoming to trickle into other leagues. The MLB has postponed games today, which is Thursday. Yesterday, on Wednesday, I believe the Milwaukee Brewers of Wisconsin, they postponed their game. I forgot who they played against, but they postponed their game. The NHL today postponed all their games. But I have to tell you, this isn't the league stepping in. This is the players being like, we're not playing anymore. Of course, the leagues now are softened because I see the NBA doing it, so they have to follow suit. So they're not going to tell the players no. And this is really, really crazy because it just shows that these players, they have power. These players, they are a big part of our society, our culture now. Whether you like sports or not, these players, especially in the NBA, hold a significant role in our society. And they set the tone culturally. I mean, think about when the coronavirus happened. When Rudy Gobert got a positive test. Now, a lot of people in America probably don't even know Rudy Gobert because a lot of people don't watch the NBA. But when he got a positive test, the NBA shut down. They postponed and canceled. Well, they postponed all the games, which eventually turned into the season just being indefinitely shut down. And because the NBA took that step, other businesses, other leagues across the nation and the world followed suit. And now you look at what these players are doing. You have Kenny the Jet Smith on the TNT broadcast of the NBA walking off the set in solidarity with the NBA players. You have players from other leagues deciding to not play. Overall, this hurts the players. This does. But they know that this is a greater message that they're able to send by not playing. Now, a lot of people are like, well, they should just play. I mean, what good is this going to do, really? And I'm here to tell you, well, every sports team is owned by a really, really wealthy guy. And if it's not a guy, it's a wealthy family, okay? And those wealthy people generally are well connected with each other and with policymakers, not to mention the networks who broadcast these games, who are losing a lot of money too by not having eyeballs on the screen. It definitely hurts the players monetarily, but it hurts everybody else monetarily as well that profits off of that ball going into that hoop. And the message has been heard loud and clear by the people that needed to hear about it. I believe the Attorney General of Milwaukee, or not Milwaukee, I'm sorry, the Attorney General of Wisconsin actually was on a conference call with the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday morning after they decided to sit out of the game. I find that to be very profound. These players, these teams, they going forward are going to act as, well, they already to some people act as extensions of their city, but now more so. It's not just, oh, I'm from Sacramento, I gotta, rep my team. No, these people, these athletes now, it's turning into them speaking for us as well. They're representing us and our interests, what we want. And I think it's very, very historic that these people, who are also rich as well, most of them are, have that type of power. But they're using it not to pad their pockets, but to stand up for what's right. Because there have been generations of athletes before them who have not done anything. So the fact that they're now standing up is super inspiring. And although this week has been super heavy, going forward, it feels like people aren't taking shit anymore, man. And it's good to see. It feels like, it makes me feel like I'm not alone. And it's nice. It gives me hope, and I hope it gives you hope too. And if it doesn't give you hope, then all I can tell you and all I can ask for you to do is just think about it a little bit more. Think about what I've said here. This situation, the previous dozens and dozens of situations of innocent black men and women being killed, and how this is a trend. That's all I got to say. There is no theme of the week. I think it's clear what the theme of the week is for this week. It is consciousness. Be conscious of what's going on. Don't allow yourself to stay ignorant. It's so comfortable to be in that spot, but it's not good overall. And it's uncomfortable to get out of that. But at the end of the day, everyone will be better for it. All right. So with that, please follow us on Instagram at The Closers Podcast, on Facebook at Closers Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are The Closers Podcast. Please share these episodes with your favorite people so we can build a community of favorite people. Because wouldn't you like to interact with other people's favorite people? How many times can I say favorite people? I don't know. I'm going to be back at you on Wednesday. Me and Quinn Kalani are going to be talking about fantasy football. Our top 5 guys we're looking out for in drafts. Hope you are excited. Fantasy football is right around the corner. Then the week after, for closing out the week, then the week after for the Closers Podcast, we're going to have the Knicks game episode with Gabriella Elwell. People are looking forward to that. I am as well. And with that, I guess I'll bid you an adieu. Have a great weekend. Unwind, relax, kick back a little bit, but stay diligent. And I will talk to you next week. All right. Thank you.